Hello and welcome to Geekatplay Studio Tutorials. In this tutorial we're going to create the scenery that is I saw a photo in some magazines or where, so I decided to recreate, and it's actually one of the best way you can learn how to create some scenery inside the view. It's by duplicating the photos, real images, and get as close as you can. So let's create this image. One thing what we begin, it's creating water edge, and if you just open normal terrain, you'll notice it's different heights right here. What I want to do for this, I want to just create flat and increase afterwards. So let's go ahead, change, edit our object. Okay, inside our object I want to reset. We'll go move down. Okay, and what we're going to do, it's using altitude. Okay, we'll go ahead, set altitude, and let's just step 1. And you can notice when we start kind of drawing, you can see right here we start working on our altitude already. So actually maybe 1 increase to like 3, have increase softness and just decrease size. And that's what you're doing right here. You just start creating this edge. This will be our water edge. Down right here, let's faintly a bit more. Because always if you needed more resolution, you always can go ahead add additional. In this case, when you start creating, you will have a little bit more details. Let's go right now, increase our size. So we're done, and I just will fill up rest right here. Okay, so this is how we created sharp edge by the water. Of course, we can go ahead and clip it. Here we have it, our piece of terrain. Let's click OK. Again, we can put it a little bit up, drop on the ground, so we'll be sure it's right there. Okay, let's go also right now. We'll go set render to the screen, and I want to set 640. Okay, and here we have it, our sample of our edge going. If you want to increase, you can just go ahead and drag slightly up. This will give it us slight increase on this. Okay, so next things what I want to do is create some backdrops. Again, I will probably want to go ahead and change to free user and just increase, so we have it more kind of look like widescreen mode panoramic. And it's again, when you start working on the landscapes, some sceneries you not necessarily need to be limited yourself to specific preset for your shot as a standard. Try play around with a very wide screen, very tall screen, vertically, horizontally. Maybe even go ahead and rotate your camera. And to rotate, you need actually uncheck says always level, so you can actually go ahead and rotate your camera to right place you want it. Okay, so this is one thing. Oh, by the way, till we're here, let me show one thing. Sometimes what's happening when you have it fractal terrain, and people sometimes asking why in fractal terrain I still have it my multiplier resolution, because it doesn't really matter. When I can come closer, it is actually doesn't matter, because the fractal will recalculate and add more polygons as I need it. So this is very useful, for example, when you have it any additional effects. For example, let's click on a crux. So you can see if we go closer, you can see right here we have a little bit actual pixelization on those crux. So let's reset it, and if we increase our resolution and apply right now, you can notice they're much smoother and smaller. So you have it more details added, and reason is why how the crux apply and what function was using. So sometimes using on a fractal terrain you can increase resolution when you apply or brushes additional or merge with other images, or you can go inside the effects and you want to apply kind of smaller, higher defined effects to the terrain. In this case, the multiplication on the fractal will work very well. Okay, so anyway, was step away, just give you a little tip on that. Okay, let's go now create. Okay, we're right here. We'll just stretch it because I want to cover all these corners. Okay, right here. Also, let's still be here. Take our camera, move slightly this way. So what I'm doing right now, if you actually notice on composition, what I'm doing, I don't want to have it straight line right there. What I want to do is have it slightly angle. In this case, when you create your image, it will give you more flow, more kind of depth to your image. Okay, we're done with this. On the back end, we'll just create a simple terrain. I'll just go ahead and stretch it. So while we go increase in size. So this will be our back mountain. And we'll probably we can just hold down Alt, click and drag. We'll just recreate and put it one mountain on the back. As well, we probably want just slightly increase it. So in this case, what we have it, you can notice we have it one and a little bit far away image. So here's our few mountains. Again, we can stretch even more. There you go. So we have it our one cover, another one kind of overlap in the distance. We'll have small trees, and our front run right here. Okay, so right now let's go ahead and add some materials. So I'll select my first terrain. I'll click on an icon so I can open materials selection. And what I'm going to do right now, you can actually create your own. I'm just going to our mega pack first. And you know, sometimes what's happening when you create, this is our materials we created and they were available at Geekatplay website if you need it. And sometimes what's happening, you created some materials and they become kind of very nice looking and very universal to use. And I found out with my grass field, when I create these materials, this is actually very nice, very natural used materials, and I like to use a lot this. So we'll use this one material. We'll click OK, and it's apply to our terrain right here. You can see it's look very natural. On this edge, let's go work a little bit. So we go ahead, open. We'll go add a layer, and as a layer, we just add anything like plunge land, anything. You can go ahead, even maybe to the wet stones if you want it. I want just plunge land. And we go to environment tab, and what I want to do, I want to create this on a side. So I'm go ahead and move from one, so it will go more to the slopes. And again, to preview, you can click and select maybe different color. In this case, you can see on your preview window where its material will laying, and you can see how nicely it's going right here. Also, we can go ahead and increase just slightly, so our angle will be a little bit blending more. We'll increase merging. Okay, now let's go disable, click OK, and here we created edge on us. Of course, we'll do a little bit more with this. We'll add some plants right here on to hide it and create more natural, but overall it's how you can creating merging the edges. Okay, on our back terrain, what I'm going to do is use other material we created, and it's hot spring. I like it. Okay, we'll just apply that terrain. We'll look and maybe set to object. Let's preview between one of them. This is too much tiling. To rework on a tiling, what you can do, you can go ahead and go inside the effect and change the increased turbulence, rotation, and cycling. And if you notice, if we do even fast this way, it will affect slightly change variation. But in this case, what I want to do, I want just apply object parametric for this one. Okay, let's click OK, and we'll go to our other terrain and we'll do same material. Just add kind of interesting effect to this. And again, if you wanted, we can try to maybe decrease resolution, see how this will affect as well. Seems like it's, again, all those textures, they're all tiling, so if you want it, you can get them in Megapack 1 if you like it, and just reuse those. And this is, look, some effect right there. So let's pop up back to 4, increase our rotation for this one. Okay, as well, we maybe want to make bumps a little bit higher. Again, this is, you can see right here we have some distortion and rotation. Play around, but remember, this is all will be covered by trees. So maybe don't want it. There you go. Okay, let's leave it like this. That's good, nice background. Let's go ahead work now on placing trees on the back. Okay, let's go open, and what I want to use here, we'll use the ecosystem, but I want to use a dynamic population. What dynamic population will do is create the trees only in an area that's visible to the camera. Again, you may have a couple things, let me explain with dynamic populations. What's happening, it will create those trees, but if you do animation, actually, there some trees maybe start appear, disappear. And this is not a bug, actually. It is in, if you're reading inside the manual, it's explained there as well, that because some environment affecting how system populating, and we will populate the trees every frame because it's recalculating where the camera see. So just be sure when you're using dynamic population, you're using just you may have this artifact of appearing, disappearing trees. Okay, so we'll do this way. Also, notice when I add ecosystem or you not add any layer, one other things I notice on a layer below this, what's happening, your scale is set back to 1. So if we change before and we add new layer, maybe we want have to go back and just be sure check it's set to what we wanted. Okay, at this point we go ahead and we'll just add some plants. And a couple plants I want to add, it will be pine tree. Just use this pine tree, 1, and let's add a couple other ones. Another one, it will be some kind of, because we'll try to recreate some late fall, maybe Novemberish kind of looking. We probably want to add some dead kind of leafless tree. So let's go ahead, plant again. And again, if you have an infinity or extreme, you have a very wide selections come with many plants. If you don't have it, you can purchase them on Cornucopia website, and till it's finished loading, I won't show you after when we start working on grass. Some packs I kind of recommend. It's they was created by other people, but they have very nice, very useful plants. Again, some variations that you can use in many your work. Okay, so add here. Again, we have a dynamic population. We go ahead, pop up density slightly, and let's decrease a little bit scaling. Again, you can use a default. It's up to you. I just like to play with scaling because all what you see, it's all relative. If you want it, you can go up to numbers. Example, this is like 10 meters by 10 meters square, and you can go that way. I just like to do in some images. It's depend how I see it. So this look about nice. I maybe want to add more some other trees. So let's go ahead. We'll go add maybe blue spruce for this. Okay. Okay, let's go click render our test. And blue spruce add a little bit more green stuff to ours. Again, if you see you have too many of the winter, go ahead right here in the presence and just decrease. So what it does, it will decrease how many of the instances you have of specific plants in an ecosystem. It's a nice, very nice way to control it. So we're done with this. Now we can go ahead on our far away terrain, and here I don't want to add dead trees. What I want to do is create ecosystem, and we'll go ahead add some pine trees, and we'll also add the same blue spruce. You notice right now it's loading very fast because those plants is pre-caching by the view application, and actually cache will keep it also if you even delete them from your application. The cache will still have it in memory. It's one reason why if you run very low on a memory, you can go ahead and click on purge memory. What purge memory will does, it will take all those instances and move from memory to your hard drive. So in that case, you have more memory, RAM memory you can work with if your machine slows down. Does help. It's take all those delete instances or some other ones and move them away. Okay, so we're done with this. Let's preview. Okay, and you notice right here we don't cover anything. So let me do a couple things. First, on this terrain, I want to decrease down. Let's open. We'll go to our environment tab and be sure it's everything set properly here. Will pop up density way high. Decay, and we do dynamic population. Click OK. And you can see it's actually populating very nice right here. So this is our preset, and how I say this material, you notice it's look almost like we have some snow patches, and again because it's kind of on a background cover up, it's worked very well in our image. So I think we're ready to start working on our front terrain. Okay, one thing, let's go ahead, select our main ground, and in main ground what I want to do, I'll go to landscape, and I'm going to use probably one of these materials. Let's go preview how this one will look. This one what I try to create, it's a bottom of waves of water, so we can kind of see through the water. And again, let's go find rock and plants. I think this one will actually work better because it's applied as a world standard, and right here we can see some patches of the rocks around and some green stuff. So we go ahead, add water at this point. Let's go a little bit closer. We'll take our water and just put it down right here approximately. Okay. So in this case, we still have a little bit foam. We can remove it, reduce, but it's about right age. Again, remember, we'll start putting grass right on the edge and everything right here. So let's go open our plan. Okay, actually what I want to do is right click C and go edit object. We're going inside the modify our surface. So we'll go ahead, disable global, and we'll go foam over water and along the coast. So we decrease our depth maybe to 1 meter. Just slightly decrease everything. Let's click OK. In this case, we'll have it more clear water, and we same time we still have it a little bit white right here in the corner. You can see just slightly white foam, and we have it more clear water, so it's look more like a river. Okay, we'll see after. Maybe we just pop up a little bit high, but I think this will just do very well for now. Okay, let's go to our first terrain. We have it right here, and before we do this, I'll start another tutorial, another part for this tutorial, and this is very good time when you can go ahead and save your work. Just in case, because if you modify something or something else may happen, I recommend every time when you work, save your work. It will help you a lot.